Hey there guys, Robert here, and welcome to episode 53 of RobGioReacts. It has been 1 week since the last episode, and it's now time for another one, guys. Hope y'all excited today. And we're going to be reacting to 3 videos today, starting with Logo History number 6, MeTV, by Raymond Garza TehLogoCECandRobloxFanatic2006. Y'all know how logo histories work, so let's just dive on in.
Hello everyone, it's me, Raymond Garza, and welcome back to the 6th episode of Logo History. Today is about MeTV. Here's a short bio if you don't know what MeTV is. MeTV, an acronym for Member Entertainment Television, is an American broadcasting television network owned by Broadcasting, marketing, and a destination for classic television.
The definite destination for classic TV. Cool slogan.
Classic TV. The network airs a variant of classic television programs from the 50s through the late 2000s. Its website, it's metv.com.
Looks pretty interesting. At least to me, it looks pretty interesting, the website. So, what did that say? Hold on. Tune in with me. Tune in with me. Is the puppet's name me?
Anyways, without further ado, let's begin. 2003 to 2014, there was a yellow and white gradient rectangle on the side of it, there was a black, there were words me and black text on the right of it, there was a black rectangle inside of it, there were the words TV and white text. 2014 to the present, now
Why do they keep on, like, oversimplifying logos? Like, why? The previous logo clearly looked better than this. I mean, I can understand, like the current logo is pretty cool, but honestly, I'd much rather prefer having the, like, old logo, I guess. So, yeah.
Now it's no longer an ingredient. Now it's actually a shiny and everything on the gradient has been removed. That's about it. See you on episode 10 will be Univision. Bye for now. This is Raymond Garza signing off.
Alright, so that was Logo History number 6, MeTV. Pretty cool little logo history video. You know, he used like Wikipedia for the short bio. He looked at the website and used Logopedia for like going through like the history of how the logo came to be. Like, and again, I think the older logo is better, and the newer one, I mean, it's good, but not as good as the older logo. So yeah, that was Logo History number 6. And now for the next video, we're going to be reacting to Waffles Megacollab ranking for Tim Hecker's Ravedeath 1972. Which after I was done listening to this, I immediately considered it to be a close second to Harmony and Ultraviolet for me. As of right now, Ravedeath is currently my second favorite album from Tim Hecker. Just only behind HIU, Harmony and Ultraviolet. Now without any further ado, let's just react to this.
Hello, welcome to the Tim Hecker Megacollab series, where we rank the track lists of Tim Hecker albums from worst to best. This video is on the 2011 album where Tim boomerangs back to his usual style and creates something even more distorted and desolate, Ravedeath 1972. I will post links in the description where you can listen to that. But for now, here's the ranking proper. Number 11A, Hatred of Music 2.
I love this one. It kind of gives me a bit of like an Asian flair to it, I guess. Like, not entirely, but just a little bit of it. And the distant sounds of like pianos, it works. So
Number 11B, Studio Suicide 1980.
Oh my god, the fact that this is so low just disappoints me. This track is really underrated. Like, it sounds so lonely and desolate. Holy shit. Wow.
Number 10. No drums.
Probably more, like, probably a bit more of a forgettable track in the track listing, but I gotta admit, this is still some pretty atmospheric, deep ambience, if I do say so myself. Yeah, No Drums is a great track. I love it.
Number 9. The piano drop.
Yeah, it's my least favorite track on the whole thing, but even then, it's still good. It's still good, regardless if it kind of sounds like a bit noisy compared to all the other cuts on here. I much rather prefer to listen to like all the more pleasant stuff. But the piano drop is still a good track. Not to say that it isn't pleasant at all, because I guess it is.
Number 8. Analog Paralysis 19.
Oh, sorry, I muted the video on accident. Oops.
Number 8. Analog Paralysis 1978.
Oh man, I love this track. Yeah, the melodies, the atmosphere. Just, God, I love Analog Paralysis. Oh my God. Wow.
Number 7. In the Air 1.
It gives me a bit of Nils Fromm vibes. Yeah. I love how like lonely it sounds.
In the Fog 2.
No comment. This is just a really great track. Really awesome track to be sure. Just beautiful. Just beautiful.
Number 4A. In the Fog 1.
I also love the atmosphere of this one. This one is a really excellent track. Regardless of that fairly low placement here.
Hatred of Music 1.
This one kind of reminds me of like some of my. This kind of reminds me of some of my favorite cuts from An Imaginary Country. It just kind of sounds like, kind of like rock influenced, like pretty much, the entirety of that album. So yeah.
Number 2A. In the Fog 3.
Yeah, even if I ranked it this low, this track is still really great. I definitely love the melodies on here. So yeah, In the Fog 3 is just beautiful.
Number 2B. In the Air 2.
I have a feeling this track should grow on me more. I don't know, it also kind of gives me that Nils Fromm feel. So hopefully this one grows on me.
In the Air 3.
Yeah, holy crap, like these piano melodies are really beautiful. Again, it just sounds so like lonely, isolated. And it kind of gives me like an abandonment like feel. Also, Waffles stated in the comments that the average for this track is not 10.4, it's 3.6.
That's the ranking. Yeah. I did also ask these participants to rate the album on a scale from 1 to 10 optionally, and as a result, the average rating for this album is an 8.6.
Great!
Shoutouts to these people who participated in this video. You guys rule. I've provided some extra comments from them in the description, for anyone that's interested. If you would like to participate, there is a form in the description that you can fill out from now to this coming Sunday. I hope you join in. The next video will be on the more piano-based EP reminiscent of this album, Dropped Pianos.
Already followed the form for
Anyways,
that one.
that's it for today. Thanks for watching.
Alright guys, so that was Waffles Megacollab ranking for Ravedeath 1972. And now let's go see everybody's thoughts. Waffles says this one's a favorite. If there's one major weakness to this album, it's that it's not among his most original in terms of sound, but it stands out for being so desolate. Unfortunately, if there's one thing that I'm here for on this album, it's those three multi-parters. As a front-to-back experience, he's done better, but I absolutely love the best this album has to offer, and it's still a good front-to-back experience overall, even if it had to grow on me in that department, and he gave it an 8. I said, wow, this is easily one of the best Tim Hecker albums for sure. This is an awesome return to form to his usual style, and yes, this is probably his most desolate-like release to date. I love the atmosphere on this project and how vast the whole thing sounds, especially Analog Paralysis 1978 and Studio Suicide 1980. It's funny how my top two are right next to each other, but they are the best examples of how isolated this thing sounds. The rest of the tracks are absolutely fantastic as well. I love everything on here with not even one bad track in the bunch. Fantastic album, and I gave it a 9. Danky says, I like this album. Tim Hecker tries something new here with making most of the tracks on there piano-driven while still maintaining his signature sound, and in my opinion, it works. As always, the atmosphere on the album is brilliant. Love hearing the dichotomy between the quiet nature of this album and the sudden loud sections chiming in throughout. This is literally the perfect album to listen to when it rains outside, but you don't want to go outside because you'll get so wet, so you look through the window and start having deep thoughts while you are just staring at the pouring rain. Overall, I like this album. It's not better than Mirages or Harmony and Ultraviolet, but I would listen to this over any of his other albums, even his debut one, so you know it's a really strong album, and he also gave it a 9. And finally, Searman says, the other near masterpiece in Tim Hecker's catalog. Seriously, one of the biggest and most impressive drone/ambient albums I've ever heard. Absolutely one of the best ambient albums of the 2010s, and he also gave it a 9. Yep. The ratings are really well deserved. Ravedeath is such an awesome album. Again, it comes a close second to Harmony and Ultraviolet for me. It's the way how desolate it sounds. Wow, if you really want to get into Tim Hecker's work, then this would probably be one of the best places to start. So yeah, and also the next thing that we're gonna be ranking, Drop Pianos. That's an EP. It's kind of reminiscent of the track The Piano Drop, which is like my least favorite on the whole thing. Again, the piano drop is still a really good track on here, but this whole EP, Drop Pianos, I think is better than that one track on here. But yeah, I love every track on here. Just not even one weak track on here, not even one bad track, or even okay. Just every track is at least good. So yeah, go give Ravedeath a listen. And yeah, that was the Mega Collab for Ravedeath. And now we're going to be moving on to our final video for today, and that is Searman's Mega Collab ranking for Boards of Canada's The Campfire Headphase. If I can be honest, this is probably one of the weaker studio albums from them, but this is still a genuinely great album from them. I really love how sunny and uplifting it sounds. You know, and it has some of the best tracks, you know, these guys have ever made to date. Especially a certain track we'll talk about later, which is actually my second favorite track, only behind Aquarius. So yeah, let's react to this Mega Collab ranking for the Campfire Headphase. So at number 16, we have A Tyrant Cronin. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty short track, I guess, but it's pretty neat. Number 15 is Into the Rainbow Vein. Probably one of the better interludes on here. I really love its twinkly-ish melodies. I guess. Number 14 is A Moment of Clarity. Also probably one of the better interludes. I kind of love its, like, you know, crystal-like pads, if that kind of makes any sense. I don't know, the pads on the pads on that track sound really beautiful, by the way. Yeah, number 13 is Sherbet Head. Yeah, I didn't find this as interesting as all the other tracks on here, but honestly, even then, it's still a good track, I guess. Number 12 is Constants Are Changing. Kind of love the country-ish feel this one gives off. Number 11 is Farewell Fire. Oh my god. Yeah, this is the track that I was gonna talk about. Farewell Fire. It's my second favorite track from BOC, only behind Aquarius. Like, honestly, when I first heard this like a year ago, well, let me just mention, this track was actually my introduction to BOC. When I first heard this track the first time, I was on the verge of tears. The second time I heard it, I was moved to tears. I mean, it's just so emotionally resonant, and like, I do understand where some people are coming from. I mean, you know, it may catch people off guard to hear how sad Farewell Fire actually is. And, you know, Farewell Fire is a pretty sad track, pretty emotional track, and it's gonna catch people off guard, you know, because it is a sad track compared to everything else. Like, everything else sounds, you know, uplifting for the most part. But honestly, I think that this is like a very strong ending to this kind of album, where, you know, it kind of tells me that, you know, all good things must come to an end. It's kind of like, it's kind of like, it's kind of like, you know, the majority of this album is like watching the sunrise, and then this whole track is like watching the sunset. You know, like the day's about to end. But something so touching about Farewell Fire is just what gets me right here, and like, honestly, right now, I got no more tears left to cry for Farewell Fire right now, but honestly, just go give it a listen. It's just one of the best tracks they've ever made. It's so fucking underrated. Number 10, we have, well, actually, number 9A is Slow This Bird Down. Definitely a highlight on here. Kind of gives me a little bit of a lo-fi-ish feel right there. Number 9B is Tears from the Compound Eye. I love that chord progression on Tears from the Compound Eye. It sounds really good. Number 8 is Macquarie Ridge. Regardless if I rank this like very low at number 10, I could see why, you know, for some people it could be a better ending to this album than Farewell Fire, even though in my opinion Farewell Fire is a better ending to this album than Macquarie Ridge, because Macquarie Ridge is just a Japanese bonus track. But honestly, you know, if Macquarie Ridge were added onto like the actual like original version on the album, I think it'd make for like an ending that is as strong as, like, you know, Farewell Fire. And Farewell Fire is like, watching the sunset, or, you know, if Farewell Fire is like, you know, just, you know, ending a chapter in your life, then Macquarie Ridge is like starting a new chapter, you know? Macquarie Ridge is like one of the more uplifting type stuff, so yeah, Macquarie Ridge is a really, really great track. I love it. I love this one. Alright. Number 7 is Oscar See Through Red Eye. Yeah. I love the hip-hop feel this one gives me. Just really great, just really awesome stuff. Number 6 is 84 Pontiac Dream. one of the more underrated tracks from them, honestly. I love the melodies on that one. Number 5 is Chroma Key Dreamcoat. I love the atmosphere to that one too. Alright, number 4 is Peacock Tail. Probably one of the more weaker tracks on here, but I will not deny this is still a really great track. It's just a really smooth track from them, honestly. Alright, number 3 is Hey Saturday Sun. Which could be a reference to like The Weeknd. Not the artist, but I'm talking about like, you know the word Saturday and then like the sun, like the word sun, it's like an abbreviation for Sunday. You know, because like Saturday and Sunday are like the part of the weekend. Get it? Saturday, Sunday. I'm probably not funny, but yeah. I really love the guitars on this one. Kind of gives me a bit more of a country feel as well. Alright, and number 2 we have Satellite Anthem Icarus. This is a track that I could just sit back and relax and just chill out to, you know? Just beautiful stuff right there. And finally at number 1 we have Dave and Cowboy. Obvious pick, but honestly, yeah, this track is just really awesome stuff. Definitely a highlight in their catalog, to be sure. Formed to the 4th and most recent EP, Trans Canada Highway, in the description pinned comment. Already filled out the form for that one. Yeah. So yeah, that was the Mega Collab ranking for the Campfire Headphase. Let's go see everybody's thoughts. Searman said, great album, definitely off-brand for them in how happy and accessible it is. But the production and atmosphere is just as good as always. AVR says, in my opinion, this is BOC's weakest albums, but that's not to say it's bad. I think it's an amazing album, actually. But compared to the other 3 albums, it really suffers. It feels like the first half passes by so quickly, and there are a lot less memorable tracks on here, especially some of the interludes. Still, I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. If I had a choice of whether to listen to this thing for the rest of my life or any shitty pop song that's on the radio, I'd definitely pick the former, LOL. Johnny says, this album is like driving a shiny 1970 candy apple red Cadillac DeVille on a desolate A road on a cliffside with rays of sun bouncing off your Ray-Bans. Holy shit, this dude is just really great at analogies. Oh my god, wow. I said this is not as good as Music Has the Right or GioGatti, but I will have to admit that this is still an all-time great album from BOC in my opinion. While it is similar in structure to GioGatti, I really love the sunny feeling that this one gives off. It's like the musical equivalent to watching the sun slowly rise up in the sky. Farewell Fire is without a doubt my favorite track on here, to be sure. I was moved to tears by it when I first heard it, and it's still an emotionally resonant track to me now. I also do love a lot of the tracks on here as well, including Satellite Anthem Icarus, Dave and Cowboy, among others. Really great stuff. And Khalik says, solid album. Didn't find it as interesting as GioGatti or Music Has the Right, but it's still great, considering that the lowest still is a song that I like a lot, LOL. LK-428 or LK428 says, love this album. Like all of BOC's works, it holds a very special place in my heart, and a reminder that they have a tight, consistent discography with no bad releases, each one remarkable in its own way. This was the album they had to make after the Dark Trip that was GioGatti. Another album in the similar rainbow vein, no pun intended, of Music Has the Right to Children, but with its own unique flavor with the guitars. Such a damn excellent release, blows my mind. It's kind of brilliant what you said there, because GioGatti is like an evil album, and like the Campfire Headphase, even though it's not as good as GioGatti, it's kind of like the light at the end of the dark tunnel that is GioGatti. So Handbone H says, definitely my least favorite album of theirs, but that isn't saying a lot because there's still a lot of good stuff on here. interesting approach to take for an album, especially one right after GioGatti. Dinky says, as a follow-up to the wonderful GioGatti, this album is actually really good. It decides to be much more cheerful, upbeat, and fun, an idea that was first partially explored in Logax, but now is fully fleshed out to an entire album. My only complaint about this album is that it has the weakest interludes out of all their albums, but that does not subtract my enjoyment of the album at all. Overall, great album, especially that top 4, which is just top tier BOC. Matthew GH says, I'll have to give it another listen, but this might be my favorite album of theirs. This was such a pleasant experience from front to back. I love all the sounds used in this album. It has a much nicer vibe than the others. And while I appreciate the other album, the other album sounds, this one is more to my taste and much more peaceful and melancholic. Top 3 is probably my top 5 BOC songs. And finally, Cam says, for my first BOC album, quite good. And yeah, I could see why this could be a fitting introduction to any new Boards of Canada listener, and it would be a great place to start for anyone looking into their work. And again, even though it's not as good as Music Has the Right or GioGatti, and it's one of my least favorite albums from them, this is still really great stuff. Again, I really love the uplifting and happy nature of this album. And, even though the interludes are not as good as the ones on the previous 2 albums, they're not bad either, And the only track I really didn't find interesting was Sherbet Head, but everything else on here, especially Farewell Fire, oh my god, it's just really, really, at the very least, good to great stuff. At the very least, good to great stuff. And, the tracks that I ranked higher, they're just some of the best highlights, of BOC's entire career / catalog. So, yeah, if you haven't listened to this album, please go do so. If you haven't already, it is a genuinely great album. Also, quick announcement, I'm going to be taking a 1-month hiatus from RobGioReacts until Sunday, January 23rd, 2022, because at my high school, I'm actually in one of their productions / plays, and at my school we're doing Once Upon a Mattress. And I think starting this week, we're gonna have hardcore rehearsals for the musical. And I've been recently granted an understudy role for 2 of the main characters in the show. So literally the pressure is on. So don't worry, RobGioReacts is not ending. But I'm going to have to take a 1-month hiatus to focus on that, and also to focus on other school stuff. I guess focus on my academics as well. Focus on family stuff as well. I guess. So yeah, be on the lookout for the next episode of RobGioReacts coming out on January 23rd, and. Yeah, that's pretty much. I wanted to get this. Really wanted to get this quick news out of the way. So yeah, we made it to the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a like. Share this one with your friends if you want to, and leave a comment down below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, as we're on the road to 7,000 subscribers. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.